Let's start the Karma Yoga, that is the path of selfless service. Arjuna said that if you consider acquiring spiritual knowledge is better than working, then why do you want me to engage in this horrible war, O Krishna? You seem to confuse my mind by apparently conflicting words. Tell me decisively one thing by which I may attain the Supreme. The Supreme Lord said that in this world, O Arjuna, a twofold path of spiritual discipline has been stated by me in the past. The path of self-knowledge for contemplative introverts and the path of unselfish work, that is Seva and Karma Yoga, for all the others. One does not attain freedom from the bondage of karma by merely abstaining from work. No one attains perfection by merely giving up work. Because no one can remain actionless even for a moment, everyone is driven to action, helplessly indeed, by the forces of the nature. The deluded ones who remain or restrain their organs of action but mentally dwell upon the sense of enjoyment are called hypocrites. Why one should serve others? One who controls the senses by a trained and purified mind and intellect and engages the organs of actions into selfless service is superior, O Arjuna. Perform your obligatory duty because working is indeed better than sitting idle. Even the maintenance of your body would be impossible without work. Human beings are bound by the work that is not performed as a selfless service. Therefore, O Arjuna, becoming free from attachment to the fruits of work, do your duty efficiently as a service to me. The first commandment of the Creator, Brahma, in the beginning of this universe, created human beings together with selfless service, that is Seva and sacrifice, and said that by Seva or sacrifice of self-interest you shall prosper and Seva shall fulfill all your desires. Help the Devas with selfless service and they will help you. Thus helping each other you shall attain the supreme goal of human life. The Devas, pleased by the selfless service, will give you the desired objects even without asking for it. One who enjoys the gift of Devas without offering them anything in return is indeed a thief. The righteous who eat the remnants of selfless service are freed from all the sins. But impious who cook food only for themselves without first offering to me or sharing with others, in truth eat sin. The physical body of living beings is made up of and sustained by food. Food is created by God from 5 basic elements. God is pleased by the sacrifice of self-interest, the selfless philanthropic work and blessed selfless persons. Selfless work or sacrifice is our duty. Duty is prescribed in the scriptures. The scriptures come from God, and thus all-pervading God is ever present in the selfless service, that is Seva. One who does not help to keep the wheel of creation in motion by sacrificial duty or who rejoices sense of pleasure only, that sinful person lives in vain, O Arjuna. For a self-realized person who rejoices only with God, who is delighted with God and who is content with God, there is no duty. Such a person has no interest whatsoever in what is done and what is not done. A self-realized person does not depend on anybody except God for anything. Leaders should set an example and therefore always perform your duty efficiently without any attachment to the results, because by doing work without attachment one attains the Supreme Being. I repeat the statement. Always perform your duty efficiently without any attachment to the results, because by doing work without attachment one attains the Supreme Being. King Janak and others attained the perfection or self-realization by selfless service, that is Karma Yoga alone. You should perform your duty with a view to guide people and for universal welfare of the society. Whatever noble persons do, others follow. Whatever standards they set up, others or the world follows. O Arjuna, there is nothing in these 3 worlds, that is heaven, earth and the lower regions, that should be done by me, nor there is anything that I should obtain. Yet I engage in action, because if I do not engage in action relentlessly, O Arjuna, people would follow my path and stop doing the work. These worlds would perish if that happens. Then these worlds would perish if I do not work, and I would be the cause of confusion and destruction of all the people. As the ignorant work, O Arjuna, with the attachment to the fruits of work, so the wise should work without attachment for the welfare of the society. The wise should not unsettle the minds of the ignorant who are attached to the fruits of work, but should inspire others by performing all the works efficiently without the attachment to the results. All works are the works of nature. All work is done by energy and power of nature, but due to the delusion of ignorance, people assume themselves to be the doer and thus incur the sin of karmic bondage. One who knows the truth, O Arjuna, about the role of forces of nature and work does not become attached to work, knowing very well that it's the forces of nature that work with their instruments, our organs. Those who are deluded by the elusive power Maya of nature become attached to the work done by the forces of nature. The wise should not disturb the mind of the ignorant whose knowledge is imperfect. Do your duty, dedicating all work to me in a spiritual frame of mind, free from desire, attachment and mental grief. Those who always practice this teaching of mine with faith, sincerity and free from complaint are freed from the bondage of karma. But those who criticize. But those who criticize my teaching and do not practice it should be considered ignorant of all the knowledge, senseless and lost. All beings follow their nature. Even the wise act according to their own nature. What then is the value of sense restraint? Two stumbling blocks on the path, likes and dislikes. For the sense objects remain in the senses. Once again, likes and dislikes for the sense objects remain in the senses. One should not come under the control of these two, because they are indeed two major stumbling blocks on the one's path of self-realization. One's inferior natural work is better than superior unnatural work. Death in carrying out one's natural work is useful. Unnatural work produces too much stress. Lust is the origin of sin. Arjuna said that, O Krishna, what impels one to commit sin as if unwillingly and forced against one's will? The Supreme Lord said that it is the lust. Here lust is not to be interpreted into the worldly sense, but lust means intense desire for material and sensual pleasures. It is called lust. It is the lust born out of passion that becomes anger when unfulfilled. Lust is insatiable. That is impossible to achieve. Lust is impossible to achieve or fulfill and is a great devil. Know this as the enemy. As the fire is covered by smoke and the mirror by dust, similarly self-knowledge becomes obscured by lust. O Arjuna, self-knowledge becomes covered by this insatiable fire of lust and the eternal enemy of wise. The senses, the mind and the intellect are said to be the seat of lust. Lust, by controlling the senses, the mind and the intellect, deludes the person of veiling self-knowledge. Therefore, O Arjuna, by controlling the senses first, kill the devil of material desire that destroys the self-knowledge and self-realization. How to control lust? Not easy. The senses are said to be superior to the body. So all our senses are superior to the body, all five senses. The mind is superior to the senses. So above the body are the senses and above the senses is the mind. The intellect is superior to the mind and the spirit is superior to the intellect. So here is the hierarchy. Once again, the senses are superior to body, the mind is superior to the senses, the intellect is superior to the mind and the spirit is superior to the intellect. Thus, knowing the spirit to be superior to the intellect and controlling the mind by intellect that is purified by the spiritual practices, one must kill the mighty enemy, lust, O Arjuna. Now, how to kill lust is basically a very simple trick has been prescribed here, that basically identify yourself to be the spirit and the spirit engages into the spiritual practices, and once the person becomes spiritual, he can control the mind and intellect and senses, and through that one can definitely kill the lust. Path of renunciation and self-knowledge is the next chapter. I think this much is enough for today. I tried my best to complete the chapter as briefly as possible. I hope you learned something. Please give your feedback in the comment section. Thank you very much. Jai Ma Kodiyar, Jai Siya Ram. Good night.